Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as requested, I am here today to review the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse Foundation. Now if you're not familiar to my channel, this is the first time you're watching, as always when I'm reviewing a foundation, I always start with a bare face because I'm also going to be doing a demo and I want you guys to see the current flaws I have. Now recently I had a breakout right over here which is still pretty red, but that's basically it. I have enlarged pores, I have oily skin, and I love foundations that are supposed to be oil controlling and matte on the skin. Now before I apply the foundation, I moisturize my face really well with this product here, which is for combination to oily skin by Elizabeth Arden. I love this, and it has a pump. It's a fantastic product. And to apply my foundation, I'll be using the Sigma F80 because I think it's perfect for the pot because it's round and it has a flat surface. It's easy for me to just dab into the product. So if I did not mention in the beginning, I have shade 21 Nude, and I picked this shade up because I thought it was the closest to my skin tone. Putting next to my skin, it pretty much looks pretty yellow, which I'm an NC30 with a lot of yellow undertone, and I thought this was perfect for me. But I'm going to say right off the back, it's a little bit light. I think this shade is more suitable for an NC20 to NC25, but today we're just going to make it work. So what I do, I just dab the brush onto the foundation, and I'm going to get myself a mirror so I know what I'm doing. And I start from the center of my face, and I start blending it out, and I just go back into the pot when I feel like obviously I need a little bit more coverage, and I just start blending it. So as I was saying, the shade is a little bit light, but you can always make it work with a little bit of bronzer. I prefer a lighter shade than putting something much darker on my skin. It blends really nicely. It's not a foundation that takes a long time to blend. It blends really nicely and it's pretty quick. I used it the whole week and I pretty much enjoyed how quick this foundation goes on. But I find it easier when you use it right after your moisturizer. So this is with the first layer of foundation. Probably you guys can see that it's slightly light for me, but like I said in the beginning, I can make it work with a little bit of bronzer to warm up my complexion, but it still looks natural. It sets pretty quick. It doesn't feel tacky or anything like that. You can still see my pimple here. I'm not too sure if the camera's picking up, but I can still see my pimple, but not too obvious. So that, sorry, still recovering from my cold. But that gives me the impression that the foundation is not really a full coverage foundation. It's like a medium coverage with the first layer and maybe buildable to full coverage. I'm not too sure because I like staying on just one layer with foundations like this. But I'll apply just a little bit more here to see if it covers my pimple. Oh, I was going to do it on my bronzer. Smart Vilma. So I just dabbed a little bit, and now I'm going to just go on my pimple and then just, I think I would have to use a concealer. I don't think with the foundation itself it's going to cover, but I'll still use the rest that I have on my brush in the center of my face because this is where I get the oiliest and this is where foundations tend to break a lot quicker. So what I'm going to do next is apply the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be right back with the rest of my review. So I'm done with my makeup and now I'm going to start with my review. I'm going to start with the packaging. It comes in a really cute jar, I find. It's made of glass and the top lid is made of plastic. Some of you may not find that this is travel friendly. I actually find it's really compact and I can just throw it in my bag and it will fit even if I want to take it to work in my makeup bag, my beauty bag, or my travel bag. I think it will just fit. Regular foundations, liquid foundations, are quite long. The glass can be very heavy, or it could be plastic, but they still take a lot of space, and I think this one is pretty compact, so it would be perfectly fine. It has SPF 15, so it's okay for you to protect your skin from the weather. Not too sure if it's good for flash photography, but we'll definitely be trying that out at the end of the video with some photos. and it carries 18 mLs of product. So it doesn't have a lot. However, a little goes a long way with this foundation, I find, because you only have to dab. You don't have to go there and take a lot. It actually blends pretty well, and I think this will go a long way. I've used it the whole week, and you can barely see that I've used it just because you can see the little dents of my foundation brush bristles, something like that. That's the only way you can see it, but it doesn't feel, or it doesn't look like I've used a lot of product. Now, I bought this at Boots, and they retail for £7.69. Superdrug has the same price, but at the moment they have a promotion where if you buy one, you get another one half off. So if you're not too certain of your shade, you can always buy two so you can match yourself. Now, the available shades that they have is about 12, and I find the shades very, very deceiving, because when you look at the swatches at the store, or this one in particular, it looks like it would match me perfectly, but once I start blending it in, it's a little bit too light for my skin. I make it work. I bought it, so I'm going to make it work. I always prefer to have something lighter than darker, because it's very, very obvious. But when you have a lighter shade, you just apply a little bit of bronzer, you warm up your complexion, and the foundation can actually work if it's only about one shade light. I'm going to read a small part of the description on the website for the foundation. It says, a revolution in foundation has arrived. Revolutionary whipped cream formula provides an airsoft, perfect matte finish coverage with a weightless feel. Breakthrough technology with flexible silicone polymers, I think I'm pronouncing that properly, I'm not too sure, help prevent caking. Color pigments give superior coverage that blends effortlessly, imparting a soft, natural looking, even tone finish. Now, I definitely have to agree that it's very, very weightless on the skin. It dries to a matte velvety finish. It's not sticky at all. Which I thought it would be, and it definitely has a natural matte finish as well. So it's definitely a foundation that you could wear on a daily basis, to either go to school for, I don't know, for a few hours depending on your skin, and just wear it every day. It's very, very natural on the skin. I don't think it looks cakey at all, even though I applied like a thicker layer in this part of my face, because I have an oily T-zone and pretty much just normal over here. But I do think it gives a natural matte finish, and I can't say that about a lot of foundations, but this one in particular, I have to agree on that. It doesn't emphasize imperfections like my enlarged pores, like my fine lines, and I have a few fine lines here on my forehead because I have dehydrated skin. It really doesn't emphasize that. It just blends with the skin. It makes you look really nice and pretty, very natural. It's not a foundation that I would say gives you a flawless finish, because a flawless finish for me is a full coverage foundation where it just covers everything. This one still allows your skin to shine through, but it just leaves a very, very nice matte soft finish on the skin, which is pleasantly nice for me. Now, when it comes to wear time, we're in the winter at the moment, and I find that this foundation wears about 5 to 6 hours. It definitely, I become a little bit shiny by the 4th hour, which is pretty normal with a lot of foundations. But by the 6th hour, the foundation starts fading away quite badly, especially here where my skin is a little bit more shiny. So I did carry this with me throughout the week to work, and I went and retouched myself, and it doesn't look cakey when you retouch. Some foundations, when you start layering them or putting layers on hours later, it doesn't really look nice, but this one just blends in really nicely with my skin. I didn't apply too much because I didn't want to look like a cake face, so only in the areas where I needed a little bit more coverage, I just applied a little bit, and it looked really nice for the rest of the day. With this foundation, I don't feel like you need to apply powder unless you're extremely oily to make it stay for a little bit longer. It just sets to such a matte finish that I don't feel like powder is necessary. But as always, with any foundations that I wear, whether they're a little bit more luminous, dewy, or matte, I always use a setting spray, because this takes that, specifically this one because I love it, it makes that powdery finish just go away and allows your skin to shine a little bit more, look a little bit more healthy, and have a really nice natural glow. So I definitely recommend setting this foundation with a spray. It will allow your foundation to prolong its longevity throughout the day, and it will also take that powdery finish and your skin will just look absolutely beautiful. Having said all of that, I really like this foundation, but I don't think this is a foundation to wear on a daily basis to go to work. My days are very long. I leave home at 7 a.m. and I only get home around 5:30. So if I have to retouch this foundation around the 6th hour, by the time I get home, it's completely gone off my face. So it's not a long wearing foundation. Maybelline does not claim that this foundation is long wearing, so I would definitely recommend this for a basic foundation that you're just going to run some errands, you're just going to go to school for maybe a couple of classes, and then you're going to go back home, because it will definitely last on your skin around 5 to 6 hours. After that, it will just start breaking down and disappearing. So it's not a long wearing foundation for you to go out and have a long day of classes and a long day at work. One tip I would give when using this foundation is not applying a mattifying lotion, even if you have combination to oily skin. Applying something that is a little bit more moisturizing, more hydrating, will allow this foundation to sit so much better. It's perfect as a base. This one here, I'll put a link below so you guys can check it out, because this, you can find it worldwide. It's perfect for a very matte foundation. I have dehydrated skin, even though it's oily in the T-zone. I still like rich moisturizers like this, which are perfect and they are catered for my skin type, because this is for combination skin. It just performs as the perfect base for very matte foundation. So I would highly recommend you see what type of lotions you have at home before applying any foundation, specifically this one today. Just try and find something that is a little bit more moisturizing. No need to apply primer, I find, at least in the winter, and this foundation will definitely sit better on your skin. So that is my overall review. Thumbs up if you like this review. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to try it or if you've tried the foundation, and I'll speak to you guys very soon. Bye.